starting with rear delts. This is a movement that Jordan taught me the other day when I was training with him. Because this machine is only one cable, usually I'd use the one that has the 2 cables so I can spread it apart. But since this is only one, Instagram guru'd this, put on a lat pull down bar. Doing is recreating the 2 cable pull. A lot of people when they're training rear delts, they do like a fly motion, but what I've shifted to doing more so is a rowing motion. And I've found that I've been able to grow my rear delts a lot better. So what we're doing here, almost like a normal mid-back row, pushing through my feet and keeping my body forward and my chest up. And now when I start the movement, I'm fully protracted and I'm actually focused on almost pressing forward as much as possible so that I'm disengaging my traps, stabilizing my shoulder. And then we're gonna do a rack press with the barbell. So generally the way I've been structuring my workouts is that any movement that requires more internal stabilization or bracing, whereas a skill-based movement where I have to focus on engaging those certain stabilizers, like even the rear delt movement, I'll prioritize that and put that at the beginning of my workout. And then as I get to later on in my workout, I'll go to movements that have a little bit more external stabilization. So whether that's a chest supported rear delt fly or a chest supported lateral raise where I don't have to focus as much on bracing, I can just go all out, just lock myself in and then increase my output there. Anything that does require a little bit more skill, a little bit more focus, you want to put that closer to the start when you have to do 2 working sets here where I'm actually going close to failure. Because it is a movement that there is a lot of internal stabilization involved, it is difficult to push the output extremely far, especially because you are going heavy and you don't want to risk injury. So instead, what I'll do is I'll leave more of my like drop sets, giant sets, whatever it may be, anything with a high intensity technique to later on when there's a movement that's a little bit more externally stabilized. 155 on the bar, nothing extremely heavy, but I'm really just focused on driving from the bottom as hard as I can, exploding and squeezing my delts hard, keeping everything tight throughout the entire body so that you're able to drive more output. Just because your fingertips are falling back, if the bar is pressing directly through this strong point where it's stacked from your forearm to your elbow to all the way up to your hand, then you're fine. You're in a good position to drive more output. Sometimes having your thumb and your fingers wrapped around the bar, people don't have certain wrist mobility or forearm mobility, so they're not able to really get underneath it and engage their lats to drive more output. So instead, don't worry too much about allowing your wrists to fall back slightly or your fingers to fall back slightly. Just really focus on keeping your lats tight and driving through that center area so that the bar is centered and stacked all the way down. And then as you drive up, you're driving directly overhead. The weight is going directly down over that center. You're not falling forward like this. Sometimes when you wrap your thumb forward, it forces you into it. But as well, when I was training with them, we actually started with our lateral raise movement, but we started with a cable rather than a dumbbell. I do prefer using a cable over a dumbbell, but since it was taken, we just decided to do dumbbell, and it was later on in the workout, so it didn't really matter. But when it comes to lateral raises, any sort of lateral raise, your delt is only working after about 15 to 35 degrees range. Anywhere between here and here is going to be your subscap and other stabilizers. And then as you come up to here, your delt is going to be most active at around 120 degrees. So when you use a cable lateral raise, essentially what it does is it allows you to keep that constant tension all the way throughout the motion. So all the way from here, 15 to 35 degrees, all the way up to 120 degrees without it going under shoulder joints. Generally speaking, I do like using the cable instead, but since it was...
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never.
That you get to push yourself in whatever limits, whatever exercises, whatever capacity you really want to. So have fun, lift heavy, increase your calories, you'll feel amazing, and then go get a crazy pump. And then eventually get juicy shoulders.
Make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good. Fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts. I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong. I won't stop to the top, so you